My name is Nico. You've probably seen me on Instagram. I post almost every single one of my trades. And it all started when I was 15 years old. I started trading for the first time, trading options, losing a whole bunch of money. And after almost 3 years, I finally started to see success getting funded multiple times, partnering with some of the biggest traders, and now just being pretty much an expert on the charts. Maybe not exactly, but we're pretty good. But these are 11 things that I wish I would have told myself when I first started trading. First things first, I never got different results until I started doing things that were different than everybody else. I mean, you guys know, and you've heard before that stat that 95% of traders lose everything. They just lose and they quit. Eating well, going to the gym, training your mind. These are things that other people aren't doing. And you start to realize it's not just having the craziest strategy or knowing some secret in the market, because the truth is there's nothing like that. The secret is just doing the simple things that work and doing it every single day, because other people might do it one day, maybe do it another day, but if you're that person that is consistently doing the right thing, tell me how many people you know that genuinely do that. It's really just figuring out what other people are doing and you do the opposite, and 99% of the time you will see success with that. Now, don't get crazy about it, because when I figured this out, I was crazy about it. I thought I didn't want to go to college anymore, because I was like, oh, everybody finishes high school and they go to college and they get stuck in the matrix. I was one of those kids. So don't get too wrapped up in this idea of, oh, these people are doing that, I got to be different. But do take an analytical look at what other people are doing. And a lot of the times, if you start doing the opposite, you will start to see success. Now, the second thing that I wish I would have known is I didn't have consistent wins until I actually knew what I was looking for on the charts. I'm not telling you to trade mechanical and have one of those models that's like, oh, if this TP or this PDA hits and then it comes back and does this and then draws on liquidity. No. You do, however, want to have an idea of what you're looking for on the charts. You don't be one of those people like I was that's like, oh, I figure it out every single day. I know the charts. I can come up with something. If instead you have an idea, and now for me, for example, all I look for is a ranging profile. I look for MMXMs, and I enter on the ranging profile before the right side of the MMXM. So a little bit of confusing terminology if you don't know, but it just makes it so much simpler for me. And if I'm not seeing on the charts, I can just step away. And if you're one of those people that is still stuck in that trap of, oh, I can get onto the charts and I can come up with something every single day, sure, some days you'll make money, but overall in the long term, it's really just not going to work out. Now, the third thing that I wish I would have known is to never trade while I'm on vacation. 2 reasons. First of all, if you're not in the same groove, you're not like, when you wake up in the morning, you have your computer set, you get there, you do your thing, maybe it's your laptop, but you have a routine in the morning. When you're on vacation, all that changes, especially if you're with family, because you're like trying to squeeze a trade in before you guys head out, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. Or if you're like me, this is when I was still trading on my phone, which is a bonus tip. I'm not going to put this in here, but please get off your phone. Please get a laptop. Please get a computer. Please get something to trade on. The phone will not do it. It will not cut it. But here we were, and there's one vivid memory that I still remember when we went on vacation. It was in Italy. And this was something that my parents were so happy, so excited to invite me onto this trip, to save up money and make this happen. And this is when I was first getting into trading, or maybe like a year in, and I was trading options, and I was on Webull, and literally the entire time things were going on. We were at some beautiful churches, some beautiful places. This is before I believed in God, but still, I was on my phone the entire time, just scrolling, trying to take trades, looking at the charts on the 5 minute, the 1 minute, the switching back and forth, everything on my phone. And I didn't even get a chance to enjoy my vacation, because the entire time, either I was in a trade or looking for a trade, or I had lost so much money that I was just like, you know how it feels. I was like, oh, like sad. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to do anything. Like, and my mom tried to tell me, like, come on, like, can you enjoy this vacation? I was like, no, I'm trading. I'm doing this thing. What, you don't want me to retire you? Like, I was just arrogant, and just, it didn't get me far. So put the phone down, put the computer down, put whatever it is while you're on vacation. because your mind needs a moment to reset too. And when you come back from that, you'll be even better on the charts. Now, the fourth thing, and it kind of aligns with that last thing, is it does help to have a life off of the charts. And this is why you see so many big traders now on social media that run a business off of like something to do with trading, or they're just hanging out with friends. They have their like wives, their girlfriends. You can't be on the charts all day. You really can't. I mean, for me, I used to spend 10 hours on the charts every single day, and I was so unhealthy. Like, my trades were obviously terrible. I was just always in a constant like angst. If you don't have a set time frame for yourself on the charts of when you're going to trade, for me it's literally just from 8:30 to 9:10 New York time. That's it. But if you don't have a set time and you're trading every single minute of every single hour of every single session, it'll kill you. Like, you start, it's just constantly like you're anxious. You're like, oh, right now I could be making money. Right now I could be making money. Right now I could be doing this. Right now, and then you end up just doing nothing. There's no real progress being made. You gotta have a life off the charts. I mean, this is one of the biggest things. I literally dropped all my friends when I was first starting it, because I thought that it was good. I thought that it was good to go full all in. I'm all in on trading. I'm trying to make this happen. I need to drop all of them and only work on this, only study this, only think about this. But we're humans, and our minds, dude, it starts to deteriorate. Like, any functioning part of your brain that will actually work for trading. Get a life off the charts. Reach out to your friends. Get a girlfriend. Do something. Have things going on. Be going to the gym. Be eating healthy. Be going to church. I mean, all things. Even keep a job. I hate to say that word, but keep a job if that'll help you get off the charts too. Do something. The fifth thing that I wish I would have known, and this is something that I actually implemented pretty recently, and it's drawing and journaling my trades. That literally increased my growth by like 500%. I'm just throwing a number out there, but drawing, and I'll show you guys right now. You guys see this. Literally journal every single one. Put drawings on there. Crazy. Like, it looks awesome. But this stuff, it's a weird one, and I'll tell you right now why it works so well. At one point when I kind of stopped trading for a little bit, I looked into all the symbols and, like the psychology things, like Carl Jung. And I found out about symbols and how powerful they are on the human mind. So that's why it's very important to watch what you're doing before you go to bed, the stuff that you're watching, because that stuff will culminate into your dreams and then into your real life. But with the trade journaling, if you're drawing pictures and you're seeing these charts and these visuals, what'll start to happen is while you're dreaming, you start to become more familiarized with certain patterns on the charts and things that are happening, and you'll just grow so much faster. And it also gives you some clarity while you're actually on the trading day itself. I'm not saying do this after, because the truth is, when you lose a trade, you don't want to journal it after. But if during your trade you're just drawing little pictures like, okay, on MNQ 1 minute this is happening, on the 15 minute this happening, and you're writing things out, drawing little visuals, it'll help you so much. So very much. The sixth thing is, there is always another opportunity on the charts. Look, something happens, you think it's the craziest move ever and that something like that's never going to happen again. But the truth is, there'll always be another one. Next day, there might be another one. Next week, there's always amazing trades going on. Always. And I can promise you this. So don't worry. If one trade didn't go well, if you didn't get tapped in, or you got stopped out of a trade and you're like, oh, this was the perfect trade, why didn't I put my stop loss a little bit lower, or now I want to get back in, like, just leave it. Just be calm with the fact and understand that there will always be another one. This is a simple one, but I had to put this in there. On the seventh thing, your time will come. So try to enjoy the journey along the way. If I had just known that eventually my time would come, and if I had just understood that it didn't matter how hard I pushed, how much I begged for it, how much I wanted it, ultimately, if you're putting in the right steps, you're putting in the right work, your time will come. So along that way, don't be so just anxious. Just understand that, look, you can still enjoy time with family, you can still enjoy your friends, you can still do things, Because ultimately, trading isn't one of those games where the more you push, the more work you put in, the more studying, isn't one of those games where you'll like continuously get better. In the beginning, of course, there's like all the work that you're putting in, it grows you very fast. But at some point, it gets to where like doesn't matter how hard you push, you'll barely be growing. And at that point, all that prevails is just doing the right things consistently. So enjoy this time before you finally do make it, because it is kind of cool. The broke days are kind of fun, but don't become enamored by it, because that's another problem. But let's get into the eighth one. Eighth thing, when I added a plan before I traded, that changed everything. Before going into the day, I didn't understand why people had stuff like daily bias, why they had stuff like, if this goes here, I want to look for longs. If this comes here, no. I used to go into the charts and be like, okay, we're ready. Let's check Forex Factory. Let's see if there's any news, and then we start. But if instead you can, again, this includes like the journaling thing, draw out or just try to envision, okay, what is the chart looking like? What are some potential levels that we can reach? What are we looking to do for today? What's our bias? Just simple things like that will improve your win rate by so much and just give you clarity on the chart, so you're not going into it with nothing. But if instead, like I'm saying, you just have an idea of certain things that you're looking to happen, you'll just do so much better. Now, we're getting back into like the psychological and like cool tips that aren't about the charts exactly. Ninth thing, remove all blockages, all mental blockages if you want to succeed. Your mind has to be right. If you're still drinking, you're still smoking, you're still watching stuff you shouldn't be, things like that, they inhibit your mind. If there's any conviction, if there's any action that you're doing that inhibits your image of yourself, you're failing. Because the chart is something so psychological. Sure, you can learn a good strategy and stuff, but then if at that point you can't control your mind, and look, let me explain to you something. Every single thing that you do culminates into your visual perception, your image of yourself. The symbols that you associate yourself with, the actions that you associate yourself with, the people that you associate yourself with. So if you're instead doing the right things always, you remove any mental blockages that you have. If there's any person that you've wronged or whatever it may be, go apologize. If there's anything that you're still doing that you know is holding you back, you got to stop doing it. And when you finally are free from all mental blockages, it's not like instantly trading success will come, but it'll be so much easier on the charts, and you'll be so much more inclined towards success. Now, the 10th thing that I will tell you is, actually, don't tell people. Let me tell you. The 10th thing is, don't tell your friends, but do tell your parents. You want a moment and a place to where you can just relax and step away from the charts, step away from your business, step away to just have friends that you can enjoy and to regenerate yourself with. That is so valuable. So if you tell them that you're trading, first of all, when you have no money, it's going to mess with you. And then once you do have money from trading, it's going to mess with you, because you just want friends that you can just enjoy their presence, enjoy their time, and allow yourself to step away from everything else and just be like a kid. Just enjoy time with people, because it gets a little tiring when all you're talking about is business, when all you're talking about is trading, when all you're talking about, you need a moment to just step away, and it does help a lot. And then the second thing about that, do tell your parents if you're younger, let them know that you're on this journey. Don't come to them in an arrogant way and be like, oh, by this time we're making $10,000 a month, and then I don't need to go to college, and I don't need to do this, and you're not going to tell me what to do. Just be like, look, mom and dad, I might need some help. Like, this is what I'm going to be starting. It's going to be a hard journey. This and that. Like, if they're not happy about it, they're not supportive, I don't know, maybe do it on your own. But it's good to have people that can not only hold you accountable, but just help you out on this journey, because your parents do want to see you succeed. They do want to see you growing, and yeah, it just helps to have them. Now, the last thing, the 11th thing that I put this last because I don't know if I would have listened when I told myself this, but the last thing is just give it to God. Pray before you're trading. trust in him, allow for him to bring the right people in your life, the right mentors, the right things. Like, the truth is, God is looking out for you. And if you're praying before your trades, you're doing the right things, you're honoring him, you're not letting this become your idol, then dang, I just took everything. But just keeping a strong foundation on him will lead to so much more success. And the reason I wouldn't have listened to this when I first started trading is because I was the biggest atheist. People would try to tell me, like, my friends especially, be like, Nico, like, we want to see you come to the right side. I'd be like, bro, are you dumb? Like, there's not some dude just chilling in the sky, like, looking over everything. Nobody created this. But there's a strong validity in what I'm speaking now. And I won't even get into everything, but just knowing and trusting in the higher power and trusting in Christ. There's a reason I wear this. And I'll tell you that it is a beautiful way and an amazing thing that exploded my success in trading. Just trusting in God, giving it up to him. You can't do this all by yourself. The moment that you think that it's all up to you, that's when you start failing, because there's just so much to think about, so much pressure. But if instead you're like, look, hey, my Father's helping me. I have the greatest power on my side. We trade calmly, we do the right thing, we build, and we will be millionaires in Christ. So yeah, that's the 11 things that I would have at least tried to tell myself when I started trading. But yeah, God bless y'all, and if you want, go check out things in the description.